Hey y'all, what's up? I hope everybody's doing okay today. Enjoying this beautiful Sunday in January. It's cold here. I'm in Kansas City and it's like negative something, but the wind chill's like negative. It feel like negative 30. It's cold. It's freezing. But nonetheless, I just wanted to come on real quick and share a little wisdom with you all. As the title say, when the woman heals, the whole household heal. You know, when God gave me that message, um, a few months ago, maybe about a year ago. Everything's a few months to me. But about a year ago, when God gave me that message, when a woman healed, the whole household healed. I thought He was literally talking about the household, the house, the physical house, the father, the mother, the kid, the household. But as I went through my healing journey last year, 2023, I realized that no, this is bigger than just the household. This is like the household of the world. Like everything comes through the womb. So um life comes through the womb, the one man. So I know we have been conditioned that, in a lot of religions, we've been conditioned that, the woman is supposed to be subservient to the man, and, um, we're supposed to lay down our authenticity of who we truly are so that we could follow and allow the man to lead, which I do believe that the man is the head of the household, but the way that we have been conditioned into how that is not how it was intended to be. Life comes through the woman. Life comes through the woman. So when the woman, if we have a distorted woman, if we have a woman that is not living in who she authentically is, and she is living out her life conditioned by how others want her to live and how others perceive her to be, she then begins to project that energy out, like, this is how you treat me, this is how I want to be treated. And we have the world that we're living in now, where there's no order, there's no nurturing, there's no sustainability, there's nothing. Like, all there is corrupt crime and everything else. But as the woman begins to heal, the woman then will be able to step into who she authentically is. And because we need the emotion in order to thrive, we need the ability to be able to feel our feelings in order for us to thrive. The men need, the masculine need the woman to be able to nurture him and love him and care for him, and that's across all boards. So it's important that we as women, we do the healing that we need in order for us to live in our authentic self. And I know for me, mine came through my maternal bloodline, where the women in my maternal bloodline, we it was passed down to us that we get these men that they could provide. They provide security for us, as far as wealth and possessions and things. But they treated us like shit, beating our asses, making us less than, stepping all over our self-worth, our confidence of who we are, and we were okay with that because we are being financially provided for, and that's bullshit. Like, we don't live like that. You know what I'm saying? Because if nothing else that we learned from the whole Me Too movement or the feminine movement is that women are independent too. We can get out here, and do the same things a man can do, if not better, in the workplace and things like that. So it's important that we heal, because we need to step back. I didn't understand what it meant to be soft as a woman until I healed. You know, I've always had relationships where I was on the defense, where I had to step into my masculinity in order to be able to survive in this relationship, because I was treated like shit. You know, anything that I had to offer for the relationship was meaningless unless it was just more things, financial support within the relationship. But emotionally and mentally, my gifts, my authentic self was not welcome in those environments. So healing is important. Healing is important. And when you cleanse the womb to be able to give birth, because a blocked womb can't birth anything. There's nothing can come from a blocked womb. I learned that lesson through, my whole early adult life. Up until I had my son, I was told I couldn't have kids. And when I turned 36, I was pregnant with a kid that I was told that I couldn't have. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? When I was told that I was pregnant. So, yeah, we have to heal. It's time for us to heal. And that was almost 9 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I've been on this journey. Well, the journey of healing, the hardest part of the journey of healing is over for me. I've done the work. And that's just the thing. We have to do the work. It's no surface level healing that you could take. It's just like anything in life. Anything. If you're trying to quit cussing, well, why do you cuss? What's the root cause of your cussing? What environment did you come from? Okay, what was going on in that environment? Okay, who else in your family smoked? Okay, who offered you these things? What was the influence behind it? Where did it come from? Get to the root. You can cut down the tree all you want to, but it's going to grow back. It's going to keep coming back as long as the root's still in the ground. You got to uproot that thing in order for it not to come back. So healing is prevalent for the women. When the women heal, because the men are not going to take initiative to do the healing. Men are not going to take the initiative to do the healing. We can see it in the natural now. Men don't even like going to the doctors. Like, it literally takes a woman to convince him to go to a doctor. So just about imagine what would happen if we as women heal on a soul deep level. I mean soul, SOUL deep level. And then the healing that the men will go through, because then they'll be more comfortable. And we don't have to, we won't be coming from a place of defense, but it'll be a place of offense. And it'll be a balance. To be able to help him heal. And then our children will quite naturally enjoy the fruits of our labor because we're healed. We're not raising them from a place of hurt and pain and trauma, but we're raising them from a healed space and allowing them to grow into who they are authentically. And then they too will go to school authentically who they are, or if they don't go to school, if you homeschool, but they'll go out into society and who they authentically are and encourage their friends to live in their authentic self. And then their friends will start asking questions about how they live and what's their insights on things. And so if we continually do that, and just about imagine where humanity will be within 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the shift. But now is when the shift is. Now is the beginning of the shift. So we as women have to be disciplined and consistent with our healing journey, and not just the surface things. Because once you heal your soul, all that surface level stuff, all the emotions and and the coping mechanisms and the behaviors that we have displayed, they'll fall away, because we'll start to question, well, why do I do that? Oh, that was tied to whatever it was that I had to heal within my soul, and it'll all make sense. And then it'll be easier to uh, make different decisions, go on different paths, do different things, because our soul is healed. And now it's the time that we heal. You know, I grew up in a very Christian based family where, you know, we were forced to go to church. And so when I became a young adult, I quite naturally gravitated towards Christianity because that's what I knew. But then I became curious of other religions and things. But nonetheless, I questioned a lot of things that was going on, even as a kid. Even as a kid, I had questions. I'm like, wait a minute. You know, this ain't the math ain't mathing. The math ain't mathing. But I've always been the curious kid. You know, you just can't tell me that the sky is blue. I gotta go see that for myself. And then I might want to know why the sky is blue. Why not purple or pink? You know what I'm saying? But I just couldn't fall for it just because of the emotional feeling that was behind it. Because it didn't emotionally make me feel like how I saw the other people that were there, that it made them feel. And then as I got older and I began to study myself, you know, I'm like, well, this ain't nothing. What I'm reading and the wisdom that is being downloaded to me is not what I'm seeing every Sunday and Wednesday when I go, or whenever there's a revival. So we have to go within. It's important that we go within, because, you know, the Bible, it talks about how the same Spirit of God that raised Jesus from the dead also lives within us. So if that so be the case, if that so be the case, then why aren't we living as such? Why are we still waiting for someone else to tell us how to live? How to live. We have to go within. We have to go within, and we have to go down to the deepest, darkest part of who we are. What do you think it meant when it said that Jesus went down to the depths of hell and got the keys of Hades? What do you think that meant? When you gonna go down there and get some keys? When you gonna go down there and grab some keys to come back up and live victoriously? You know what I'm saying? Jesus said, don't worship him. The things that I do, you will do also, and greater things than these, because I go into my Father. Then when he left, when he died, and he came back in the spirit form, and he seen them looking up at the sky, he like, what are you looking for? What are you waiting on? You waiting on me to return like that? Same spirit in you. Walk in that. Walk in that. We women especially, we have become so naive, and we've become naive in the sense of feeling like we need to go find, you know, the men, they could teach us how to live and things like that. But yo, did you study that word? It was the women that did great things. And the great things that the men did, it was great women behind them. Not behind them, with them. Assisting them. God has blessed us for such a time as this. It's time that we elevate, that we rise, that we come out of the ashes like a phoenix rising, and get our asses up and get out here and do what it is that we have been called to do. Quit being easily manipulated. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to heal. Heal from them, from all that years. You know, I used to say when I knew my path, I really knew my purpose Probably back in like 2014, 2000. No, it was before then. Um, about 2012, 2013. I really knew what my purpose was, and but I didn't completely understand it. But I knew then that I had to come away from the conditioning, and it was so hard because the first time I was called out of church, I was called away from the church. I missed the connections because everybody that I was connected with went to church, and I didn't know why God called me away. Just told me that that's not where it is. It's relationship over religion. And so I tried to walk that path, but I was disobedient and went back. Only for my discomfort. Only for my discomfort. And then when I finally left, I still didn't understand. It still took a couple of years before I was like, okay, I have to go down this journey. I don't have anything to turn back to. It seemed like every time a crutch fell off, be it somebody who I depend upon, or a place, or an institution, or a belief that I had, as they started to crumble, I really started to notice that there was nothing for me to go back to. So I had to keep going forward. I had to keep going forward on my journey. And 2023, I went through a situation. Me and my son's dad, we were cohabitating in the same place, and we had got into it because I knew that that's not what I wanted, but I was also in a space of where I'm ready to date again and meet my forever and all this other things. But I have to get away from this man, and so the tension was there because he don't want to elevate, but I'm ready to elevate. So, and make a long story short, he had me put out the house. I lost completely everything. You know what I'm saying? But the way that it was all set up for me after that has been beautiful. So for almost a year, 10 months now, tomorrow, January the 15th, will be 10 months that I have been out here. No, I'm sorry, 9 months that I have been living on my own. But I had to go through false accusations of child abuse with my son, and like child support. Now he's doing custody, and all these other things, and that shit hurt. That shit hurt. But I'm gonna tell you something. Not the hurt, the pain, and the hurt is nothing compared to the healing. Because when I first started going through this, in our mind, we're thinking of all the things that we could do. Let me rephrase this. I was thinking of all the things that I could do to hurt him, to get back at him, to, you know what I'm saying? Like to one off him. And all I kept hearing Spirit tell me inside, clean hands, pure heart. Clean hands, pure heart. Move through this situation with clean hands and a pure heart. And that's what you have to do. And there was lots of days where I came home from work and I would be happy and jolly at work, but I come home and just cry myself to sleep and everything, because I had never been away from my son. I have always had my son. I raised my son by himself for 8 years. For 8 years. But to this day, I thank him for giving me that space that I needed so that I can complete that cycle out in my life. And that I could complete my healing that I needed to do, so that I could step out and do the work that I've been called to do. So where he thought he was hurting me, he actually was helping me. But in those moments, I couldn't see that because I was hurting, because I had never lived without my son. And now that the hard part is over, now the surface level things, even the surface level things as far as me and my son, the relationship me and my son had, is changing because of the healing that his dad helped me get to. So we have to heal. When the woman heals, the whole household heals. Everybody heals. Now I pray that he get the healing that he needs from the things that he's gone through in life, from his childhood or whatever, wherever the root is. I hope that he's able to uproot those things. I don't wish nobody bad, but I do have boundaries. Those boundaries won't be crossed anymore. Because when I allow people to cross those boundaries, that's because I was living in unchecked trauma, unhealed spaces in my life. So we're able to see more clearly. We're consciously able to walk through life once we do the healing that we needs to do. Women are powerful. Women are powerful creators. We are so powerful. A woman can walk in a room and change the environment of the room just from walking in. And I don't mean just like on a sexual level. I mean on an energetic level. A woman can walk in a room and decree a thing, demand a thing, and that thing it is. Just off of who we are. And we don't have to do it in a disrespectful way. We don't have to do it in a selfish, condescending way. Everything that we do is in love, because we are love. We are the embodiment of love. Now that's all people. Is the embodiment of love. But how we gonna teach that if we ain't healed? If we walking around with hate and guilt and shame, regret, remorse, grudges, we can't offer that. We can't offer that because we suppress everything of who we are. Every bit of our essence is suppressed because of the trauma that we've gone through, the conditioning that we've gone through. And now it's time for us to stand up in our power, stand up in our strength as warriors, get our asses up because we've been asleep too long. It's time to wake up and do the healing that we need to do. Not only for our children and our grandchildren, but for generations to come. Generations to come. The only reason why we're where we are right now is because of previous generations before us. So do the work. Do the healing. Commit to yourself. That's self-care. Not going to get your hair done. Put them lash things on, them fake fingernails and stuff like that. No. Mm-mm. Heal your inner being. Heal your inner being. Because that's you first. Then if you want to go put some lashes on, you know what I'm saying, then do your hair and all of that, I used to interact with this woman when I was in the stages of becoming, and the phrase that came to me at that time, this was years ago, like this was my early 20s, and I'm in my mid 40s now, but it was "Your body banging, baby, but where your brains at?" That song, I don't remember who sang that, but I'm like, no. We can adore ourselves with all these nice things, but beauty comes from within. It comes from within. Why do we need all that? Why do we need? And I'm not putting down anybody who chooses to do those things. If that's what you choose to do, then that's your journey. But that's not where true beauty lies. That's not where your strength is. Your strength is inside of you. What that look like? Tend to that garden. Tend to that garden. That's like somebody having a very nice car and they go to the car wash every other day. But when you open the door, it's nasty as hell in there. Clean the inside up. The outside's to follow. Beauty comes from within. When the woman heals, the whole household heals. It's time for us to stand up. We need each other. We need each other. We need our men too. We need our kids. We all need each other. We need each other. So, I hope this video encouraged you. I hope it's my hope that that you do some inner reflection and see where it is you got stuck, and that you commit to yourself first, to heal for you, because we all go into healing in the beginning is for us, but then we quickly realize that this ain't just for me. This is for generations to come. This is for my kids, my grandkids. This is for my neighbor. You know, I teach my son all the time. Ever since my son was in my stomach, honestly, I've always talked to him and tried to instill in him value. And I've told him his whole life, we got consequences to our actions, be it good or bad. Karma is real. We create, and I'm just going to say this because I got a whole nother video about how we create karmatic cycles for ourselves. But the seed you sow, you sowing a seed. Anything you do, you sowing a seed. And whatever you sow is going to grow. But that's what you're going to have to live with. That's the fruit you got to live with. So what we sowing? It's up to us. It's up to us. And if we don't know that we're the embodiment of love, if we don't know who we authentically are, then we're going to keep watching our kids and our cousins and our nephews and nieces and everybody else out here kill each other up. Continue to allow the government to treat us like we're a number off the block and everything else. When we could stand up in who we are by beginning our healing, by going within to do our healing, and stand the fuck out. Come out from among them, my people, for real. What we doing? What we doing? So, all right, I'm gonna jump off here. It's almost time for me to go get my son for the week from his daddy. But it's my prayer that we wake up. That we wake up, we get up, and that we become a better place within. Because everything that's in the dark always comes to the light. And then we try to suppress the things that come up from the dark because we don't like that shit. Because it's coming up out of us. Instead of learning how to integrate it into who we are. Because religion has taught you for so long to suppress The darkness. I used to be afraid of the dark. I didn't become afraid of the dark until I became a devout Christian. Then I became afraid of my dark. And I had to face all that. All of it. Everything that came out of the dark, I had to face it. And live through it. And deal with it. But did we forget that the Bible tells us to be wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove? Embrace your shit. Authentically step up and walk into who you are. Don't worry about what other people think of you. Because you're going to look messy when you're going through the process. Is it easy? Hell no. It's worth it though. It's worth it. It's worth it. For you. For your community. For your family. Because your family ain't going to get healed until you do. Your community ain't going to be healed until you are. So, I love y'all. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And I will see y'all in the comments or in the next video. Until then, y'all take care. Have a beautiful, blessed, prosperous, abundant day. Thinking about where the fuck do I need to start. See y'all later.